For networking with marketers and gaining knowledge on marketing, join Marketers Community.
Greetings from Vidsaga. We warmly welcome you to the Community Feature Interview Series brought to you by Vidsaga. I'm your host, Sasank Das, joining from Sri Lanka. I'm a news anchor, TV personality, and digital media influencer here in Sri Lanka. Our guest today is a prominent personality, Mr. Ahmed Faraz, Head of Media of FNP Media. Hi Faraz, great to have you with us. How are you doing today?
Hi. Hi. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm absolutely fine. Thank you. Hope the same for everyone else.
Absolutely. First of all, tell us about FNP Media and also about your career journey starting from your childhood.
Sure. So FNP Media actually started some 2.5 years back, and it's part of a bigger corporate conglomerate called Ferns and Petals Group. So 2.5 years back, FNP Media was started with the thought that media as a field, as a content industry is growing rapidly, and it's time to get into this and give something which is not usual in terms of the content, is not probably presenting the same old ideas but in a different way. You can actually tell a story in multiple different ways. It's how you tell it makes the difference. So that's where the idea of FNP Media came in being. And I have been into writing and storytelling for a long time. And that's where 2.5 years back we started FNP Media with a storytelling poetry YouTube channel, just to see how things move, just to see how a content generation happens. And because see, starting from a massy field which is very common like music or films, and then moving to niche can be a little different, difficult journey. But we started from a very niche audience, which is poetry and storytelling. Because poetry and storytelling is not for everyone. Not everyone is interested in, poems or, reciting poems or writing poems or listening to them. So we started with a niche audience, and we wanted to try our hands at generating something and curating something different in this niche field. Because if we are able to cater to this niche audience, we probably will be able to cater to the mass as well. So we started with this YouTube channel in 2019, July 2019. And since then, it's been 1.5 years and for that YouTube channel. And we are already close to around 130,000 subscribers on that. And we have close to around 100 videos on that. And so good part is in poetry storytelling, we have worked with every big, small, new, known artist available in India. And we plan to work with new talents more in storytelling poetry, because there's a humongous demand for a platform when these newcomers who want to write they have good talent in writing, but they don't have anybody coming to them and telling them, boss, I will release your poetry, you give it to me. There's no platform like that. So we wanted to bring that change, and fortunately in the last 1.5 years we've been the fastest growing YouTube poetry storytelling channel in India. So that's where, but then we started thinking, what next? For me as a person, I was a dyslexic person, child in my childhood, but a dyslexic person to become a writer is a journey in itself, So for me, it's always what next? Yeah. So I have written some poetry, I've written some stories, what next? So for FNP Media also, we started thinking what next? And that's when we, started to think, okay, now it's time to move ahead and get something more and create something more in terms of content. So that's what the journey has been, and we intend to grow as we go along.
Awesome. It's a wonderful story about your journey. First, I watched your YouTube channel and I came across this wonderful short film called The Blue Sweater,
Yeah.
a story which emotionally connects with almost everyone in the world. If you're obviously a family man or
Yeah.
someone who is closely connected to your family.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about the story? How did it come up and how did the
Sure.
execution go as well?
Sure. So, Blue Sweater was written by Jatin Chanana. He is the director and writer of the movie, and he's been an integral part of FNP Media. So we are planning some more movies with him. So the thought behind Blue Sweater was exploring, or rather touching the emotional chord of people, because see, everybody, even if somebody grows up to be a person who wants to live alone and to not really come out to be a family man, still in their childhood they must have been with their grandparents. They must have spent some time with grandparents, and grandparents were the first ones to actually introduce us to storytelling, because sitting with them, they're telling us old fairy tales, they're telling us their stories. That's when the interest of stories connects with us. So stories are something which connects every human being. And everybody talks about their relationship with mother on social media, everybody talks about their relationship with father, their siblings, but people hardly talk about their relationship with their grandparents, especially on social media, with a little flamboyancy which is there in social media. So we thought that this emotional chord needs to come out, this relationship needs to be shown in a very subtle yet beautiful manner, where we can actually show, okay, yes, in these times when everybody is busy, everybody's head is down and looking towards mobile, they're just constantly on their mobile phone, there can be some emotional chord with these millennial kids, social media frenzy kids and their grandparents as well. It's just it's just that you need to touch the right emotional chord, because everybody somewhere misses their grandparents if they're not with them, and if they are with them, it's a blessing. So I think with that thought, Blue Sweater came in being, and we are very glad with the production, with the output, and with the response we are getting for this movie. So yeah.
Wonderful. So, and creating content regularly for us is an
Yeah.
absolutely challenging task. So how do you strategize your content
Absolutely.
to face this scenario?
So yes, generating continuous content is a task in itself. But we have divided this, or we are working in two, strategies. One is generating our own content, which is called FNP Originals, where we shoot, we produce, we do post production, pre-production, everything in house, right? And then there is another way where we are acquiring the ready-made content. If somebody has a ready-made film, if somebody has already made a film, they feel that it should go to a decent platform, should be promoted properly, then we are all game for it. We are actually buying short films from makers, from directors, writers as well. So and as far as poetry storytelling is concerned, right now it's on a auto mode. A lot of people connect with us on a daily basis, requesting us that please let me perform for FNP Media platform, let me perform. So we continuously filter their content on a daily basis. There's a dedicated team who get things done. So that's how we are catering to the increasing demand of content by our viewers, and we are generating increasing content regularly.
That is awesome. So first, moving on with the conversation, nowadays AI and algorithms suggest people what to watch, especially
Yeah.
on YouTube,
Yes.
right?
Right.
In what extent, or do the marketers need to consider this, or to what extent do they need to consider this factor when creating their own content? What's your view on this?
Okay, so YouTube functions in a very dynamic is keeping yourself updated and keeping, researching on a daily basis what is working, what is not, in terms of keywords, tags. So for example, every day YouTube releases a list of keywords which are trending, top 10, top 20, top 50, top 100. So keeping yourself updated with all those keywords, all those tags which are trending every day, using them or using the relevant ones in your video whenever you upload is very important, because whatever said and done, yes, AI suggests you what to watch, but then AI also suggests you as per your previous history. Anybody who has searched or watched any video, any particular tag, any particular keyword they have searched ever in their life, AI will keep that in mind, because AI has a memory. You can't really erase anything from AI's memory. So they remember and they show you videos. You might not have seen any similar video in the past 1 week, past 1 month, maybe 1 year, but you might have searched one video 2 years, 3 years back. AI will still remember. Right. So we need to see what are the relevant keywords, what are the relevant tags which are trending. And then once we use them, once we do our research, once we know what's working, what's not, and then put our video and put our tags onto our video accordingly, then it definitely works organically. YouTube also starts pushing after a while, because see, YouTube also monitors your content very regularly. Right. So it's very important that, for example, some people and what YouTubers do, some of the YouTubers, that they start with one objective, they start with one theme, and slowly and gradually when they see nothing is happening, no views are coming, they change the direction and they start doing anything and everything. That's not recommendable. What you have started with, what your theme of the YouTube channel is, what your objective was, please stick to that. And consistency is the key. Keep on uploading, keep on making content. When YouTube also sees that you are making regular content, regular consistency is maintained, they also start pushing it organically. Right? So YouTube also works in that way. They monitor the YouTubers' content very regularly. If it is what it started, how they perceived it to be, then it's great. Otherwise, when people regularly change the directions of the videos, then YouTube also gets confused. What kind of genre should I promote? So that's when the organic growth goes down. So consistency is the key. Keep your research on, keep your eyes and ear open. Have to be very, you have to do your homework very, very regularly on what's working, what's not, and then make a video.
For us. So how can marketers make their content more discoverable on YouTube? This is a question I think many of the content creators or marketers have. Mm-hmm. What's your answer to this?
See, I'll tell you, again, it's very subjective. Sometimes some videos get viral, which other people think, what happened? I mean, what's in this video that made it viral? And sometimes you make brilliant content and still it doesn't get viral. So it's very dynamic. It's very subjective to what people want to see, and predicting viewers what they want to see is absolutely impossible. You can't really predict anybody what they want to watch when they want to watch. So as far as discoverable is concerned, again, YouTube SEO, which is YouTube search optimization, YouTube content optimization, YouTube channel optimization is very necessary. If it's an individual YouTuber, then he or she should also look at optimizing their own name, not just YouTube channel's name, but their own name as well. Because sometimes people know the name of the YouTuber, they don't know the name of the channel. Right? Whereas with us, it's about the brand. So we are optimizing Live by FNP Media as a channel, FNP Media as a keyword, FNP as a keyword, media as a keyword. So we are targeting all those small things so that it becomes discoverable. Anybody searching, for example, we have poetry storytelling. So we are optimizing on ourselves on spoken word, on poetry, on recital, on legend poetry. So all these keywords which people search, we are optimizing ourselves onto that so that whenever some search that, our video is discoverable. So optimization of the content, optimization of the channel, and optimization of the keyword is very necessary for discoverable. Second, as far as are concerned, straight into the mode of video ads and Google ads for increasing the views of their videos and start running paid ads immediately after upload. I suggest that if you are getting into paid ads, great, do that, but do not just run ads blindly. Running ads is also an art. You need to understand where all the ads are going, what is the target audience, is your target audience being covered in the ad, and give your video a little organic time. Just run it, as soon as it's there. It may happen that you get subscription, you get views from particular websites, but they are dead when it comes to uploading new content. It happened with us initially when we were new, that we started ads and we got a lot of subscriptions. But what started happening was, when we started uploading new videos, those old subscribers were not watching those videos. So they were dead. They came just because we ran an ad, they clicked and subscribed. So they were not engaged with us. So it's very important to run ads where you can get the engagement.
And for us, content distribution is of paramount importance. Like you create content, you need to distribute it effectively as well. So is there any particular strategy or plan that you follow at FNP Media to distribute content?
See, as far as distribution is concerned, I am actually in talks with different aggregators and different OTTs to distribute our short films in particular.
Awesome.
And so what happens is, there are a lot of aggregators, or so to say middlemen in the industry. But I suggest going to the platforms directly and speaking to them directly, because they also need continuous content. As you mentioned some time back, that there's a continuous demand of content. So all these OTT platforms are coming to the place like us, because we are generating content on ground. They are just buying the content, right? So they also need continuous flow of content, and to have that continuous flow, people like us provide that to them. So what they do is, they distribute our content to different places they are present. For example, let's say I'm talking to Hungama. Hungama it has a lot of apps available: Hungama Play, Hungama Music, Hungama Bollywood. So all these places, our content will be featured. Then they are also present value-added services of Airtel, Jio, Vodafone. So there also our content will be available for viewers. Similarly with MX Player. Now MX Player, we are speaking from the perspective that they create a channel on MX Player dedicated to FNP Media. Like for example, when you open MX Player, you'll see an FNP Media as a separate channel, and whatever content I provide them, it will be visible under that channel. Right? So all these things might not give a lot of monetary benefits, but it gives a lot of reach. Your content, your brand goes to a larger audience, goes to masses, and then that's where FNP Media or any brand will get, they will know the brand. It will get known to people, and once it's known, then whatever big you do, people will automatically fall in place, and people will automatically come back.
So what you're saying is,
theater. Now everything is on the back of the hand. Just click and watch whatever you want. So again, it boils down to one thing: you need to understand which target audience wants to consume which kind of content. There's one target audience which only believes in consuming everything new every day, something new every day, right? There's one set of people who want something new every day, then one set of people who will stick to one series, longer series, maybe 7-8 seasons, and want to watch it slowly, gradually consume it. There's one person who will watch both of them, right? So you need to understand your target audience, develop content accordingly, and then supply them accordingly.
All right. So when it comes to content creation for us, people tend to make mistakes. It's the human nature.
Yeah.
So what type of mistakes should the marketers avoid when it comes to content creation, in your experience?
Okay. See, There are two aspects to this question. One is the mistakes which a content generator makes, which are also very severe these days. As I mentioned some time back that, just a sec. Yeah. So as I mentioned some time back that what people tend to do is they start with certain objective, they lose the objective midway, and they start doing something else. Now, why this happens is that human nature is to get influenced by somebody who's getting famous, and they get, they see other people getting famous, they see other people doing certain type of content, and they're making a lot of money, they're getting a lot of followers, and suddenly they realize, oh, I also should do this. So they lose focus and start doing that, start copying them. That's the first mistake a lot of content generators. As a marketer, what people do generally, as I said, they start promoting with paid ads immediately. Or if a brand is going towards influencers, they tend to choose influencers only on the basis of the followers they have. So what's happening on YouTube as well as Instagram these days is a lot of people are, buying followers and subscribers. So what happens is the number seems very big, but when it comes to engagement, actual engagement on a particular video or a post, it goes down. I have seen, accounts where the followers are more than 100K and the engagement is not even 0.7. So marketers tend to, a lot of time tend to choose the influencers only on the basis of the followers they have and subscribers they have. They should also ask for analytics. They should also ask, reach each video is getting, each post is getting. So they should actually get the complete printouts and screenshots of analytics of both insights and analytics of Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. And marketers should ask that from their influencers, whoever they are hiring. If the analytics match the number of followers and subscribers they have, good. But if it doesn't match, that means there are bot. That's a mistake which a lot of marketers are making these days.
All right, Faraz, final question before we wrap up. What is your advice to upcoming content creators, marketers?
See, as a content generator myself, a writer myself, all I can say is do not hurry things. Take your time. Generate good quality content. Once you start generating good quality content initially and people start liking your content, they will come back to you automatically and you will start generating more and more. But if you lose hope initially, stick to what you started, be consistent, and do not copy anybody else. That's about it.
Episode. So Faraz, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
We want to express our gratitude to you for sparing some time with us from your valuable schedule and joining us to educate the upcoming marketers and content creators, or anyone.
Thank you.
For that matter. So, dear viewers, Ahmed Faraz, Head of Media of FNP Media, joined today on the inaugural episode of Community Feature Interview Series brought to you by Vidsaga.